Oh. Bad Instagram. You get to miss out. But I'm live on YouTube. It is indeed. I sound loud and clear. Yes. Always make it very. A little bit of a delay, but seems to be doing decent. I think. Where's my voice? There it is. Awesome. All right, so we'll give it a 4 more minutes, and then we can start the actual stream. think it's time. Get going. Welcome, welcome. I just realized I have no way to actually see the chat without you guys seeing it. I apologize for that. I switch over on time occasion. Nevertheless, the one thing I'm going to go ahead and start with getting the source code for EKG Zone Importer actually work. Couple of setup things I needed. I believe the debugger section needs to have the working directory changed to be the projects directory /bin. I believe that the GUI issue that is running when I start. Look at that. Cool. So now that we have it attached as debugger, let's see about importing something. Really, I would love to just turn this into command lines. Some form. Worse. That would require me to figure out where. Let's do that. Games, EQ, Q projects of EQ. I believe that C drive, source, Lancia client, ROF has a new CLZ filed semi-recently. Does indeed. So what I can actually do is go to source, client, into the RF directory. Hey Jessica, how you doing? Hope you're having an awesome day. Awesome Sunday. And make a CLZ file. To open it. I don't have a tool to like new. Now that we've created that, set it as a. Now let's go ahead and find an object to import into. That is a great question. We can go ahead and just make one. Open up Blender. Really chilling is good. Good to hear that you're having relative success moving. Moving can always be a bit of a headache, for sure. So glad to hear that everything's going pretty well. Let's go ahead and export this cube as an OBJ. You can actually see here I have in my documents the CLZ file already. So let's go ahead and import the previous one. Just by going to my documents. Hit the import. Data clz.lua, no such file or directory. Interesting. It's annoying to move, but I'm glad I am here now and don't have to move for a while. Well, hopefully until you upgrade or get more space or find somebody special to live with. That would be the most ideal, right? And indeed, The cube is life. The cube. I feel like my mic is a little close on my face there. Alright, so we have an issue, apparently, with importing. Apparently, obj.lua is having an error. Let's go ahead and open up a new VS Code window. Let's do some debugging, see if we can isolate what. That's true. From the sounds of it, though, that might take a little while for them to fully move out with all the leftover craziness slowly lurking its way around. Hydrate. Happen to have my ice water on me. I'll happily hydrate. Thank you for that. Okay, so you know the directory that this is in. Yeah. Let's go ahead and move this over into this way. We can actually jump to the file that is describing. Which, according to this, obj lua in GUI, line 44, is it trying to write the file? And apparently, it's calling it without an actual object to write to. Only 2 years. Can't be that bad. You should actually do it. TikTok, like, showing the disaster that you begrudgingly wait for. Did you notice I'm starting to do TikToks? Starting it simple, some reaction videos. I saw your recent one where you did like a cut with the audio and did like the zoom and all that stuff. I gotta practice that. See if I can do it with the in-house tooling. It looked pretty fancy. But 175 is what actually calls it. Now 175, it's grabbing all the triangles and writing them out into the data file. So where's the data file? Why aren't you finding a data file? F is what data file is. Interesting. Whenever this writes a file, it initially writes a data.lua. But it can't write to that for some reason. Wonder why. You did look at it? Well, thank you. I enjoy all the viewing I can get. I've always liked all your TikToks, so hopefully you'll like mine. But I hope to rev it up a little bit once I get a little bit more comfortable with the setup. And I think I make myself a little too much high contrast, but whatever. Definitely takes practice, and absolutely an art form. It's quite impressive of you. So, does this crash it? No, it just fails. Try it again. Notice that after that it says no such file and just errors. So, where is this? It's actually not making a CLZ.lua. Very interesting. Supposed to be making it in a data directory. I think the problem is there's no data directory. Let's make a data directory and see if that fixes it. Yep. Notice there is a CLZ.lua. look at the referencing in this file. Cube from 1 to 12. Out of curiosity, I'm going to go ahead and make a second cube in Blender. I can remember how to do that. We're in object mode. Come on. Object mode. Add mesh cube. G to grab. W. No, X. Move it on the X-axis. We'll snap it with holding control. We'll move a cube to over here. One question I have is that if I export as an OBJ into the document, does it export both objects? That's a great question. If this is a big deal, I'm actually learning. Like, I don't know this very well. All right, I can't fully tell. You can see here cube001 was imported and cube, and those are actually the names of the two cubes that I've exported. So it did successfully export both objects. You don't have to select them. Now let's go ahead and import again. Ooh, access violation. Why are we getting an access violation? This is during main. Could not load GUI script. Why not? Wonder if Lua pcall has like a locking it. Let's Google it real quick. I have a program that performs very fast-paced calls to Lua script using Lua pcall. It seems that the program calls Lua script too fast. If you're accessing Lua state from multiple threads, you should use a mutex. This is in the main. I don't think this is the true error. I think that the sub function. But where's my, like, trace? I don't understand this. Let's restart. Go to import. Grab the cube again. Hit import. Succeeds. Import again, and I crash. So, this is actually the error where if I fix this, this will make this program a lot more useful. The question is why? When you hit import, what's happening? Let's search for import. There should be a value object named import somewhere. Do you hear the import button? What is import button referenced at? Here's the action of pressing import. Somewhere in this, there's an access violation. What I'm actually going to do, is it possible to do a message box? Has to be, because it's like success and all that stuff right here. So we're going to do a first attempt. Breakpoint. What this is going to do, help me debug this. We import this. We get the breakpoint. Succeeds. Import again. Breakpoint. Crash. Perfect. So now we have a breakpoint system. And the reason this is important is now I can take, for example, this chunk of code and put the breakpoint and hit that breakpoint. So we know this code's fine. Let's Let's jump after the close directory. Let's see if this fixes it. Breakpoint, import succeeded. Crash. Notice I crashed before importing. I think close directory is my error. We could verify that by hitting, or it's the p call. Let's do close directory and see if it crashes, because we know it's one of those two calls. Breakpoint, success, crash. We crashed before the breakpoint, which means close directory is not a safe function to call. What is close directory? Well, apparently it's not in the source code. It looks like close directory is part of EQG. Where's EQG defined? It's Lua EQG. Lua EQG. Lua EQG. Everything requires it, but where is it defined? That is the question. There's a load function call. You'll notice they register. Nevertheless, close directory probably has a sanity check. Let's see if that's a function that Lua does. Not very good result. But yeah, I don't see closed dir in any form. Other than this function call. It's also called during the main loop. There's a DLL called Lua EQG. How is Lua EQG compiled? Am I compiling this with each rebuild? Lua EQG was last built on 9/17. I think that might be me. Let's clean and rebuild and see if that date increases. It does not. How does Lua EQG get referenced? It's the question. Obviously, Lua EQG. Let's look at Zala's actual code and stuff. He has this zone importer, and he did this 8 years ago. Isn't that crazy? Let's go look around in the area. See if we can figure out what zone import. So you can see Lua EQG's there. Tell you how Lua EQG gets. He like references it all of it and just copies. This one did not have it. Yes, Russell, I am using GitHub on. Of course I am. I'm working on a project on a day out. That's coding for EverQuest. Yeah, Lua EQG does not. Might be able to search his user. Lua. We search the repo. Oh wait, it actually did. There we go. What do you have in the code? All the requires. Primarily in the EQ zone importer and the inside the S3D model. So he built this DLL called Lua EQG, but I don't think he ever gave the source. And that source code needs a verification before closing. Because apparently it's closing a file that doesn't exist. It seems like it might just be a sanity check though, so I might be okay to take it out. Like so. Let's try it. See if we get any success. So we're going to go ahead and import CLZ. Success. Right? Try it again. Success. Try it again. Success. I fixed the problem, or at least the derivative of it. So you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to actually create a new repo. You probably have, there it is, and I forked it. Make sure I have this. I have the GitHub CLI installed. Download that real quick. On my newly fresh installed Windows 11. All right. So now that we have that installed, it up. Wait, why aren't you coming up? Just installed you. Oh, it's GitHub CLI. I meant to get the GitHub desktop. Running this. Helps to pay attention to it. I mean, arguably, I could have cloned this inside of Zachary. My GitHub. All right. Let's go ahead and find out if I have it local. Don't. I need it. I want it right here, so let's go ahead and just clone from the UG zone in. We're gonna clone this to right source zone import. There we go. Yeah, I'll contribute to the main project. All right, go ahead and open this in Explorer. We now have the original source code version. This also should be synchronized. No, this. And we're not going to remake. I mean, we could, but I know it's not going to work. Insiders, I don't care. See if it'll compile. Seems to be downloading stuff. You'll notice already, though, the zip file it creates getting versioned. So I think he worked. Let's see if we can build. Could not find Lua library. Lua include. Yeah. He did not fully get this cleaned. So what I'm actually going to go ahead and do is grab the source code from the project I'm working on, which is under EKG zone import temp. Basically start copying these files over, specifically the visible files, like this. And we're going to replace file. There we go. We can go ahead and close this repo. Open up the new solution. We'll just double check it can recompile. Hey, the lazy line. How you doing, dude? Been a while since we chatted. You still doing P99? I hope you're having a wonderful day, too. So nice that that feeds every time now. Cool. Well, with that compiling successfully, we can go look at the version changes, either in here. Okay. So we got to add some get ignores. Let's do that. We need to make it so it ignores. Honestly, it should be ignoring all of bin. There's nothing in bin that it needs to have. I don't think. Notice I did that, and there's a lot of version files in here. So let's ignore bin data. I'm running this as a release copy, yet there's a PDB in here, which means interesting. Why would there be a PDB if I'm running it as release? But anyways, let's go ahead and ignore VC package as a directory. We don't need that. What else we got? Fresh, please. You can see VC package. There we go. Now we're down to 279 files. This is because of all the includes, which in my opinion are worth. Let's do this. We're going to take all the libs and includes and version them. Okay. So and copy that, commit. Then we're going to check the source code differences real quick. There's going to be many. There's an extern C call and a ifdef that was commented out. I think those are just, let's just say, repaired compiling in latest VS. All right, now we have the solution files and the README. I think we're using 142. Go check real quick. 143. I feel like the PDB file should just be ignored. Don't do that. PDBs are just symbolic stuff. And also log.txt can be ignored. That's just going to be a runtime difference. User settings, I don't remember. Does Visual Studio get ignore include that? Probably safely take this. That. Yeah, see, those get ignored. So now we have the solution file, which should not bake my directory into it. I've got everything with variables. This isn't, though. Probably need to fix that. All right, let's do that real quick. So if we go to the properties and we go to directories, there's something in here that is linking directly into the D drive. That. Where though? It says that it's in my additional include libraries or additional library directory. So external feels like it's trying to tell me it's right here, but I don't see it. But what I could probably do, hop to this file, get to these, and we need to import libs. And we need to import bin. Right? Reload all. Let's see if it compiles. Oh, this is taking it a bit. I didn't do anything that crazy, did I? I think the property pages. See, we can import find now. Yes. Yes. Perfect. Cool. So now this has no hard-coded directory imports, which is important. This does not either. And go ahead and add the get ignore. I'll just keep all the Visual Studio get ignore stuff. Let's go ahead and add in all the Lua. Oh, that's fine. Fine. Okay. So the only change is that I added a comment out on here and a couple lines. Let's take it a couple lines. Hey Secrets, how's it going, dude? There's the real fix. Let's see if it'll let me push from VS Code. Yep, it does. Success. Now if we go back to zone import. Want to buy EQ2 emu? I mean, Image is working on it right now, Lion. I don't know what his progress is. Really, I think I'm actually in it. EQ2 emu? No. Yeah, if you ever look at Image, he's always working on EQ2 emu. Bit of a thing. Panthea, the alpha. You can play on their test servers right here and everything, dude. I'll send you a link on the Zachary Discord. And I'm working on the EKG importer again. My project, it's moving along, but it's been pretty slow, honestly. I've not put a lot of effort in. I've just not had time. Dude, I haven't even hopped on your server in forever. I played a little bit with your mercs, but nothing of significance. So, we have this now. Let's build a release. because I'm in Windows, it's not as easy to create a, zip file with all the different files that I care about. Fading the best of it. But I'll go ahead and just do this. Let's make a version. I don't even know if he keeps version. Probably using... No, there's actually not a version in C++ by default. Does his even have it on the GUI? Yeah, v1.2. Let's see where all the instances. Not even seeing it. Right here. Why did that not come up when I searched? Oh. Apparently had a remnant. Yeah, I haven't had the time to hop on it either. Yeah. It's done, but the game client has serious stability issues and combat is rough around the edge. Yeah, you guys, you're going so custom that it's barely EQ anymore. We're going to call this a 1.3 release. Just because, why not? And go ahead and update that. That warning, it's getting annoying. The other thing I'm going to do, I don't know if Zayla is around much anymore, but I'm going to go ahead and create a PR. Don't need to know that. Just me. So I'm merging into master across forks using there. It's only been 8 years. He might accept it, right? Why not? Directory. Also, Zayla. Where's the source code for, what is it called? Lua EQ? Oh, what, why aren't you giving me the file name? Lua EQ. When I hit Control P and do Lua EQ, it doesn't come up. I guess the DLL is being ignored. Our content isn't even started. We have a more game because it's a finished out. Yeah, I could see that. There's a lot to do. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. EQ2 Really? So you can like walk around and see NPCs, but there's like 0. Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, Sayla is not actively working on any of the Ikimu projects or, contributions that he did in the past. Again. Oh, just lost in the void of VR chat. But yeah, let's see if he'll accept my PR from 8 years later. However, now that I have that done, let's go back into the actual game fun. VR claims another. Okay. All right. So I added 2 cubes. I'm going to go ahead and... What are you doing? Why can't I switch back to you? Oh, there it goes. Import. Okay. And now we're version 1.3. I'm doing this with my client, so let's go ahead and start it up. I think my server's up. It should be. I don't think I've turned it off. There it is. My stream is cutting out? Seriously? Let's see. How's my quality? Are you sure it's my side? I have 0 drop frames. And my metrics look good. Patient. I think it was Twitch's side. Yeah. That seems to be it. Secrets. I think Demontia might not have any zones up. I can go spin them up on my other machine. One sec. Your body rushes with courage as you hear the war cry. Amazing. Disconnect error. So you're getting buffering, Lion? That sucks. Very interesting, because I am clean as a whistle on my side. And I'm using only 13 of my CPU. I'm steady 60 FPS at 720p and about 6100 kilobytes per second. But all right, what's going on here? Bust out the Wireshark. Let's find out why I can't connect. Okay, why aren't you letting me... This is like a Windows 11 bug sometimes, like switching between apps doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, there it goes. Finally. Okay. So, let's go ahead and start up a capture, which is going to be extra spammy. So we started. We should be joining the world right now. What's going on? Let's go ahead and look for port. Oh, I don't have port on here. Column preferences. Isn't there a add column port? I don't, yeah, source port? Or destination port? Destination port. Oh. Now I can just sort it and find the 9000 one with all my other traffic in here. Woo! Alright, yeah, I get you. There we go. So 5999 resolves. And no 9000? Wonder if my IP address changed on Demontia something. Man, if someone only worked for Microsoft here. I know, right? Big deal, which is wonky sometimes. Interesting. Well, hopefully it's cleaning up now. Destination is if it's client to server. Am I messing with port wrong? Let's do port 2. Let's do dest port, source port. And I could actually spin it up locally if I wanted, but destination port, source port. Let's do DST port result. Yeah, because the source port on all of these, especially when I'm going client out. But let me go find out what my server's IP address is. But you can tell, I think I'm registering wrong on... I love how it says /vtel/vraid. My freaking like EQ string for some reason is totally hacked. It's hilarious. And I've just not taken the time yet to fix it on my super thin client. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take a quick peek at Demon. Because I'm admin and all that. So, I mean, arguably I could just do this. Visual Studio Current 2022. Grab EQ-EMU, the latest build. And I think this directory has everything I need. Where is that anyway? I think it's in C drive. Yeah, that's my style. Bin, debug, here we go. So let's start up a world, which is gonna be unhappy because I don't have database up. The database though, should be inside engine. There's a start command. There. Gotta love portable MariaDB, by the way. Now we can start up world. Database is now loading. And now we can load up Zone. But yeah, I don't have MariaDB or any database service installed on this machine. Literally, this is the entire MariaDB database. It's all portable. I love that. All right, so now that we got that going, this, I might need to log out and just start it up again. Let's see if I can just connect to my, I think it's called like Zach's test box. Yep. And this should be a lot easier. Yeah, I already got a CLE set online for Zachary. I'm in. All right, so you can see here, there's the double cubes, and that's mainly all this testing. And I can just do it at the character select. You'll notice the triangles are wrong, and that's because I exported incorrectly. I can fix that as simple as export obj, and in geometry, include triangle faces. Done. Now if we exit this, I wonder if you have to restart. That'd be nice to find out real quick. Then we hit import, and then we just hit play again. Let's see if the triangles are fixed. With my fast load time, this reloads. Oh, see, that's an interesting bug. So this is the clz.s3d that just got loaded. I'm half curious here real quick. Let's start up a new VS Code window. Let's look at ROF and let's look at the debug log real quick. I'm curious if this just resolved clz.ekg, right? Loaded the EKG version, right? World initialize CLZ. Okay, this was at 1748. Now, if we continue with the world initialized, you can see here it also was CLZ. Because I have the S3D file in there. Why? Notice, like right here, attempting to load clz.ekg, loaded, and then there's, you know, initializing different data points, and then world initialized. On the second one, it loads it, loading zone-specific files, and there's different file types. So it loaded my S3D version, probably because there's a lock still on clz.ekg, and the program just falls back to S3D when that happens. But now it's every time doing S3D. Interesting. Let's exit and start up fresh and see if it still does that. I'm trying to get this optimized so that I can do reloads super fast, because time matters when you're working on a map. All right, so we're back. You can see that the 3D models are now there with the full triangles, or the triangle faces fully rendered. Let's go ahead and reload in. Let's see if it does the old CLZ.S3D now, or if it had to do with the fact that I exported it. Oh, okay, so it's still doing the recent one. That's interesting. But if I hit import, so that the EQG has now been regenerated, does that cause this to stop? Oh, except apparently it's going to crash. Yeah, progress is progress. Apparently exiting out while loading, crashing me. Crash again. So here's the world with the cubes, right? Let's quit out. Why are you crashing on quit out? Should just be on character select. What's going on here? Resetting game UI, UI reset, cleanup 11. Quitting normally. There's like this long blackness pause. I wonder if this is like you have been disconnected. Because normally quitting is instant. Interesting, it's not. Because it was just instant a moment ago. But regardless. I think my next goal is I'm going to see if I can get textures to import. There's a few ways to do this. The biggest thing for me is I need this material to be modified. And I actually don't remember the command. It's some weird thing with the dot. I think it's base color. You set the data. Or is it this one? No. Texture. Image texture. Now we can hit open. And we can go find one of my textures, which I think most of them are in this directory under tool, because I have like a open zone directory and such. Empty. Where are all of my textures? I guess they'd be in Demancia actually. I have my zones, and then in my zones I have library textures, and you know, Quake 3 textures, Nariac. There we go. Let's put in some wood. Put this on shader mode. There we go. Wait, isn't it tilde or shift tilde? There we go. Now I can walk around a little bit, and then if I left click, it'll commit. Okay, so we put a texture on cube 1. Let's go ahead and export this as an OBJ. And let's see what this importer does. Import. Cannot process image file onewood1.jpg from given path. And import succeeded. So, where is this error coming from? Let's go look at the zone import. Could not import, right? Not process. This, by the way, I'm losing trust for some reason. This is interesting. Utilizing FX for IUP in order to do shader types. There's a lava.fx. Interesting. I'm going to have to learn that here in a bit. nevertheless, let's go ahead and I'm assuming it wants it in data. Let's go find data and pop in the new texture, which unfortunately I'm gonna have to go to zone. Texture. 1 wood 1. Pop that into my new zone importer in its bin data directory is my guess. Let's test. Do not process. Okay, let's try in the root directory. No. Let's try in the document. This is where the OBJ exists. That is where it is. So wherever the OBJ is, you have to put your images. That makes sense. Okay, so now that we've added this texture, the question is, will it load it? Yeah. Come on. Time to find out. Perfect. Well, the fact that I have a texture imported from here is a great sign. Let's do some testing. We're going to go ahead and create a new mesh, which you can't right-click insert it. You have to do add mesh cube. Does plane work, by the way? Let's try that. What is it? G? No. Isn't it S? Yeah, there we go. Add ace. And then let's do G. Then we want to go down the Z plane. That. Let's give this a texture. Why am I in select mode? I must have hit, oh, it's W. Okay. So in this plane, let's hit its texture. Let's add a new material. Let's change its base color to an image texture. And let's go ahead and open or let's move some of these textures. So we got 1 wood. Let's take like burnished design and let's go put it into documents for now. And now we go back to Blender and let's open up in documents the burnished design JPEG. So we're gonna get this huge UV of the whatever burnished design. And we're also gonna take this and hit the texture of it and change it to that directory. Which is interesting, it calls it .001. We'll have to see if that causes any issues. Let's go and export as a CLZ again. You can get quitted out, which you've been crashing. Oh, you worked that time. Now let's hit import. Let's go back in here. This will probably load the old CLZ. Yep. Which is fine. That just confirms there's some sort of caching going on from the last zone you loaded. That might be something worth looking into in the client. Right, Lion? I'm using a lot of the Nariac textures. Because it would be nice for the client DLL hack to use, like, to flush properly the last zone. Whoa! So that's interesting. It does support planes. But notice that the plane is the wrong orientation. Because in my export, I have it flat here. You know what this is, actually? I know what this is. There is a setting that's like, instead of Y up, I think it's supposed to be Z up. Is it Z up? I think so. Let's try it. can just close you. Even that big ass stretch through sharp still. Yeah, I mean, you're used to P99. P99 has horrible textures. Default. There are HD texture repacks that you can use, but titanium in general has horrible. Look at that. That's pretty cool. We basically have it fully working now. Okay, so let's do some other tests. Now that we have a platform, which I don't know if it's going to have geometry or not, let's go ahead and move this. Let's do it G on the x-axis again and just move it over like so. Let's duplicate it. G, X, put it back in the center. G, Y, copy, paste, G, Y, boom, boom. There. And let's also give this a texture, which to apply a texture, we just reference to material. And these are actually adding in new material references, which they really don't need to. They're all using the same material. Isn't there like a material editor? I don't remember how to do that very easily in here. But, okay, so we got these 4 wooden cubes. And so now what I want to do, I'm actually going to copy another one of these. We're going to move it a little bit more on X. Move it over to this spot. What we're going to do with this is, I'm curious, what is this FBX exporting as? If we go back to document, documents, CLZ, and we look at the file here, there should be a material type, probably going to be defined in the material file. You have an MTL support? Yeah, that ain't. Wavefront. Grammars. You know what? That might be a good one. There. So now we have some syntax highlighting. But we can see that we're making a new material. It has a name, and then it has some UV data, and then illumination, and then KD. So where's the FX data type? I thought that that was going to be how we define the surface, but it doesn't look like it. The other question is lighting. This tool does not currently support region lights. Like, I think the only way to add a light is through code. We're going to actually do this. Test. We're going to make a red light with a radius of 10 at 0, 0. And see if it imports it. Man, that's so gross that I have to manually define lights. I really need to get my tool working. But let's see if we get a red illumination on the center middle point. The whole screen should go dark too once you define a light. Nope, we don't. In fact, this is not the right OBJ. Notice that I don't have the new cubes. Fail? Did I not export? I think I didn't. That helps. Oh, it's so nice that it's not crashing every rerun. That was a massive fix. Titanium default textures are crap. But there is, if you look for P99, there's a way to copy your P99 directory and just get a repack of all your there you go. Let's go login game. Oh crap, I'm going into Glooming Deep. That's not gonna work. Ah. How do I fix that? I need to Start Heidi. The C drive source EQ server. There will be a zone. No. There's going to be a build, bin, engine. There's a Heidi right here. I think it's set to just connect. Yeah. I don't remember what my username and password was. I'm pretty sure I just made it crap. I don't care about this server at all. Root. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's go to accounts, or actually into character. Go to the data. There's Zachary. Zone ID. What is the zone ID for CLZ? And I have to do like a... PUQ zones doesn't exist? 47, I think. No, 190. There we go. That should fix my position. Yep, see my zone is now loading. Zone is unavailable. I don't have enough zones loaded. And tutorial B is still booted, so close that out. Let's go to server debug. Get zone.exe, I meant. There we go. That's an amazing bug. I don't have space defined, so I'm very glitchy right now. Which, you know, that's insightful too. Stuck crouching because I think the world geometry doesn't know it. My question then is, if I take a cube, let's grow it, and these cubes seem to be actually pretty good ratios. Let's think about this. Scale the cube. Pretty significant. This is going to be my world definition. Let's go ahead and move it on the x-axis. Obviously not centered. I think I can define that in here. This out. All right. Now you can deform to cube it, right? And then apply the modifier. Okay, let me think about this. How do you hollow in? You can generate, decimate, geometry nodes, mirror, mass, solidify, triangulate, volume to mesh. None of this looks right. What I could do, I think even easier, is I copy paste, I scale a second cube, and I shrink it down. That. Then I take the first cube, and then I do a hollow operation. Question is, where's hollow? edit mode, add cube, extrude region, inset faces, bevel, cut, knife, poly build, spin, smooth, edge slide, shrink, shear, rip region. Wait. Man, it's been so long. I don't remember. How do you do a Boolean subtract? Guess I'll Google it. Or it's a different Boolean modifier. Yeah, it's a modifier. But it says add modifier bool. Oh, it's right here. Man, I thought I had that. And then object would be cube 4. Wait. Why isn't cube 4 listed? Oh, I'm on cube 4. Okay, what is the other cube called? Called cube 5. Okay. I think even just doing what I just did, this is all now extracted. Hard to tell. Where's the light button? Anyways. Then I think there's a way to like apply it. How do you apply a modifier? It used to say apply. Guess Control A. Well, we could always export this. I like how the lighting's like all high quality now. Anyways, let's exit out of here. Let's run an import again. Start the client up again. Notice we have a cube with the outside hollow, so that's good. Let's see if I can walk around, if it's considering this a region I can walk. Oop. So why isn't this space considered hollow? That's interesting too. This is how you create lava, water, terrain, and such. Unfortunately, you have to apply the shader manually. But you can use a shader to define it. So what's material 5 right now? Like if we take this guy Go to its properties. This is material 4. This is material 1. Outliner ID, delete materials. There's no material view anymore. I have a question. Message date one. I have a question. With SOF and higher client, when you remove Nectalosa EQG or Lava Storm, it loads old version of the zone, but when you do it with high pass, it doesn't load old version. So high pass, they hard coded it in the client executable to do that. There is ways with to override that hack, but that's essentially what's happening. One of the easier fixes is Trust has a EQG file that's based on the S3D that you can just load in and replace the old one. And then you get seamless loading and such. But using the old S3D on like ROF, SOF, and a few other clients does not work very easily. I don't want to do script. Just give me the freaking command. Why is this like... Here's a video of what to click. This is all I want right here. So this is a video. This is that one picture. But anyways, that's my answer to you. Is get the one from, and I can post it. Who cares? Rust. Search. High hole. I'll pause that in here for you. I think you are Benar. Yeah, Cetus. So yeah, you'll see it here in a sec. There you go. Much easier than having to fennec with the client and doing the override and all that headache. So there's a material section. I'll find that later, but it's bothering me. So anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and end here, pretty much. I'm almost done. So, you've been watching. Thank you for that. Hope you enjoyed. I'm going to try to start doing this more often. Show you some progress with my EQX tool. And, you know, just in general, I'm learning EQG import. Now that I fixed that crash, much more usable. I wish, though, that saving would make more sense in like context of how, I mean, because what are you saving? What's the difference between save and export? I think when you hit save, that's actually like, look, let's go to ROF, go to clz.exe, 620. Is that the light data being saved? I am not. You know what I mean? Because I'm importing, which does a save as well. But then if I hit save, is that what's saving the material data? The other issue is my region space is messed up. We can set zone lines. We can do some other data. But I really want to get this mastered so that when I write my tool, I can improve it all. But nevertheless, I'm going to be taking off. Thank you again for hanging out, those who did. Have a good one, everyone. I'll try to schedule the next eye on my Discord. Take care. Adios. I'm going to do the stream ending.